everyone, this is Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. So it's been ages since I did a video, or it feels like it's been ages. And I did take part in this year's Goth Lit November, where we read Gothic literature novels, and this tag was set up by Bailey Jean over at Bailey Jean channel, and Rachel at Second Thoughts About the Mission channel. So they set it up, and it's so good. I love this type of literature anyway. Gothic literature, I could just read it all the time. That and horror is my thing. But I haven't read the whole list of books that I was hoping to read, but I have read some, and I'm just going to carry it on, even though we're now in December and I am really late with this tag. But I'm still going to do it and put the hashtag in the description, and I will also put Bailey's and Rachel's channels in the description below as well. So, such a choice of books, and you had different categories like Victorian, contemporary, classics, So the first one I read, now these are all going to be on my Kindle, hopefully you can see. So the first one I read was Susan Hill's The Woman in Black. So I've seen this when they did it years ago as a drama on TV, and obviously I've seen the film since with Daniel Radcliffe in it. I prefer the first dramatisation they did, although I don't hate the second film, I still like it, but if I had to choose between the two. But the book is very different because they add things in on the film that's not in the book. Because the book is actually quite short, you can read it fairly quickly, but it's really good. It's a classic ghost story, and this would probably fit in the Victorian category for Goth Lit November. I really enjoyed it. It's like the build up to it, and the fact that the woman in black is seen, and then there's something with children, and you think what's happening, and then gradually, because it's set around a lawyer that has to sort out the papers of a Mrs. Drablow of Eelmarsh House, which is a huge mansion, but there's a causeway that goes up to the mansion, and at low tide you can't get across, or at high tide you can't get across. So there's only certain times of day that you can get across this causeway to Eelmarsh House. And this, obviously, Eelmarsh House is haunted by the woman in black, but she's also seen in the village. And you start to find out who she is. I won't say, because I don't want to totally spoil it for people that haven't read the book. But you get to find out who she is when the lawyer starts reading through the letters and things, and starts talking to a man who owns... He owns quite a big mansion, I think. So he's quite a well-to-do gentleman that the lawyer... Arthur Cripps, I think his name is, meets on the train, and he forms a friendship with him, which is a good job he does, because at one point in the story this man kind of saves him and takes him back to his house. But it's really, really good, and the villagers are all kind of won't talk about the woman. And the ending of this book is quite brutal, I would say, in what happens at the very end of the book. but it's really well written. I really enjoyed it. This is Susan Hill, The Woman in Black. So the next book that I read, and this I absolutely loved, when I can find it, guys, just bear with. And in fact, this next book that I'm going to show you, this next book that I'm going to show you is so good, and it's called The Silent Companions. It's so good that I want to read all of Laura Purcell's books, and I've got another one on here to read. This has everything: the creepy mansion, the weird village, the mad woman type of thing in an asylum. It jumps between the 1800s and goes back to the 1600s for the people that lived in this mansion in the 1600s, and then the lady that starts to live there in the 1800s, whose husband has passed away. And of course, so you've got the creepy mansion, the mad part of it going on. But The Silent Companions, I don't want to give too much away. This is the trouble with talking about the books. I don't want to give too much away, but The Silent Companions are these wooden figures, sort of, I don't know if you would say lifelike figures, or probably not quite as big as an actual person, I'm imagining. But there's these creepy wooden figures that are called the Silent Companions. So there's that. But in the 1600s, when we go back to that era and the lady of the mansion, things have gone on there with her and her daughter, who is not able to speak. And the story develops. You've got like a creepy attic where they find notebooks written by this lady from the 1600s, and that's how you find out the story of the Silent Companions and what's behind it all, and about the daughter. And there's lots involved. There's killings, murders, if you like. There's a little bit of possible like witchcrafty stuff in it. It's really good. I mean, I'd never read any of Laura Purcell's books before, but this one is brilliant. And I think it's meant to come under contemporary, but I don't know, because it's kind of set in the Victorian era, the lady that's in the asylum, because we've got two ladies of the manor, the one from the 1600s and the one from the 1800s, who is in an asylum and is writing down her experiences in the house. So really, really good. Honestly, I would totally recommend this book to anyone that likes Gothic literature, creepy, kind of ghosty, suspense type books. Anything of what I've mentioned, like mad women, you know, is she mad or is she not? Has something else gone on? It's just so good. The other one I've got to read of hers, which I haven't started yet, I think I've got it on here, yes, is called Bone China, as you can see here. So that's another one that I've got, that I'm going to read of hers, Bone China. But she's got several other books as well. And the book I'm currently reading for Gothlit November, even though we're in December, is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and I'm only part way through that. 27% of that has been read. So yeah, so what I will do, as I read the different books, I will come back and say what I think of them. It's difficult to give you like proper reviews without giving it away, and I don't want to give away the whole storyline of these books, because especially with the Silent Companions, because it would totally spoil it. And if you want to read it, you want to find all these things out for yourself. But definitely recommend that. This one is okay, not my favourite, but I will carry on with it. I've seen obviously film adaptations of The Haunting of Hill House. It's okay so far, but then I'm not that far into it. I've also got The Woman in White to read, which is a Wilkie Collins classic one. Turn of the Screw. I've got a couple of Edgar Allan Poes that I was going to reread for Goth Lit November. I've got another one of Shirley Jackson's to read, which is We Have Always Lived in the Castle. So yeah, so I've still got a few there to be getting on with, which I think this is a perfect time of year, November or December, or even January, February, you know, like the colder, darker months are just perfect for Goth Lit November. So yeah, so thank you to Bailey and Rachel for creating this tag. It's a really good one. I love it. And like I say, I'm going to carry it on even though I'm like late to the party with my videos, but I will carry it on. But like I say, my top recommendation is The Silent Companions. So good. I mean, The Woman in Black was good, but a lot of you will know the story of that. But I really highly recommend The Silent Companions. But anyway, that is my Goth Lit November video for now, and then I will come back when I've read some of the other books, 2 or 3 of the others, and I'll come back with another part and let you know what I've read and whether I recommend them or not. So yeah, so I hope everyone is doing well, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.